just like every other guy out there, we're leaving for Moab soon, and I've waited till the last minute to install some shit. So we're gonna install some E-Track today. In my opinion, that is the #1 best way to tie something down. So this is E-Track. This is, a long runner that we have. So don't have this in the toy hauler yet, only have it in the enclosed. Basically, you can, you lift this little tab up, slide it over, and it comes out, right? So you can, it's, I'm not gonna say infinitely adjustable, but very adjustable. And it's easy to tie stuff down. Then a buddy of mine, I used to use something like this for my Z06 race car, basically as a halo strap. I could never find anything like this that was good enough for using on a UTV, not good enough, but small enough, to use on a UTV. He tried these and they are fantastic. So I bought 4. I will put a link down in the description below to some just like them. I'll try to find a deal on them and everything, and then that way you guys can hopefully save a little bit of money. But yeah, these are awesome. It is the only way I have found to secure an X3 that doesn't move. Not even just an X3, like any UTV for that matter. Whenever you secure down a UTV, it always ends up like moving around and stuff because the suspension has so much travel, and when the suspension travels a bunch, basically the wheels and tires, they end up cycling in and out, right? When that happens, it tends to like loosen everything up. So this is the only way that I've found to secure them. Like I said, the enclosed trailer has them, the toy hauler though does not. So we're gonna go install some E-Track in the toy hauler, and hopefully this year on our way down to Moab, nothing moves, because every time I go in there to check the Can-Am, every time we stop and stuff, it always moves, every time. No matter how tight I get those stupid ratchet straps, it always freaking moves. The way that I strap this thing down is I, usually have a tie down like right back here, and I'll go from here up through the wheel and back to the tie down. Do that on all 4 corners. Right, the rear, it pulls back, the front, I have it pull forward. It still comes loose. Like, I'm not kidding you. I cannot believe it. Like, I will get those things so tight, it's like a piano string, and still comes loose. So this though is the one way that I have, because we go all kinds of places with them, this is the one way that I've found that never comes loose. It is awesome, and it's so easy, and it's stress-free. It's fantastic when you're traveling. So let's install these. Normally, the way I'd say to do this is buy several sticks, like longer sticks, right? And then just do, the whole way, like I did in the enclosed trailer, right? That way there is infinite amount of adjustability and it works out better. However, because I was a bonehead and I waited till the last freaking minute, those 2 sticks are the only ones that I have on hand, and I have 4 of these little fellas. So my plan is the little guys I'm gonna put on the front and the back of the front tires, and then in the rear I'm gonna do the longer sticks. And I don't know if you can tell on the camera or not, but basically this floor is flat and then it dovetails down. So you can kind of see the line basically almost right there at the shadow. So I'm probably gonna have to cut those longer sticks. Cut's really easy with like a Sawzall or a cut-off wheel. That way it'll just be flat, and then it can break over and stuff. So that's, I'm gonna go get the Can-Am, pull that bad boy in here, and after that, we'll figure out where we're gonna put the E-Track. All right, as you guys can tell, there's not a whole lot of room in here. Basically, got about a foot of distance there. I go in until that front tire touches the cupboard, and depending on where the park pin hits, the rear bumper either clears or just touches the door. So yeah, anyway, so I measured inside the enclosed trailer the width, because that worked out really well. It was from inside to inside 59 inches, so I'm gonna do the same thing in here. Back here, I'm not gonna be super happy about this, but I don't know if you can tell, right here there's a D-ring, and because there's like no room in between the D-ring and the storage box over there, basically I'm thinking I'm gonna end up covering that D-ring up, which would be all right because I can just use the E-track. So this will hook right back here at the very back. The best way to do this, like I said, is with longer runs, because you're gonna have a pressure point, not a point, but you know, you'll have pressure in the center, and then on each end it will be pulling down to it, which means you'll have a lot more screws holding it in versus just having this little plate, and I'm gonna be pulling up on the very back of it. That's why I'm gonna be doing a longer strip here, and then when we get back, I'll pull the front ones, like the little guys, I'll pull those out and I'll put in, you know, longer strips. But this will work for now. I figured I'll do the longer ones in the back because that is where the majority of the weight is in this thing. So that's kind of the plan. I'm gonna get this thing out of here, and then I'll get all the E-track laid out and stuff like that. That way you guys can see exactly what the plan is. And then we're gonna start screwing it in. Got the front E-track in. Right now they're just each held in with 4 screws. That way it'll keep them from twisting also. I got the rear ones in-ish, but I need to get the front one, it's right there, of the rear in. But I'm gonna pull the Can-Am in here first, just to make sure that I got the fronts where I need them to be. And then while it's in here, I can just put those rear ones where they need to go. So, and then after that, I'm gonna put a whole crap load of screws in there. So, one thing, you know, just kind of consider, right? So, Can-Am, let's just say that it weighs, let's just say it weighs 4,000 pounds. Easy math. No way in hell does it weigh 4,000 pounds, but always better to be conservative. So, that means 1,000 pounds per corner, right? Now, if we're going 1,000 pounds per corner, so you need to figure out how many screws, right, you need holding that down. So, for example, in the front, right, we have 2 of these holding down 1,000 pounds. So each of these need to take 500 pounds of load, right? So if that one's gonna take 500 pounds of load, imagine, right, that you put a screw into, you know, some plywood, and you're gonna hang on it, right? So I'm using number 14 screws. So I would say I weigh basically 200 pounds. So I would say basically I could hang on one of those screws, right? Like if you gave me some way to like hold on to it, you know, I think that one screw stuck up in the ceiling could hold me. I wouldn't want to trust my life with it, but for argument's sake, right? So let's just say each screw will hold 200 pounds. When you look at the actual data, it's a lot more than that, but just for easy math again, 200 pounds. So that means in each one of these, we need to have essentially 2.5 screws. So I'm gonna probably put like 8 in there in each one of these. So that means that each screw will be taking only like, you know, 100 pounds or so of load, which is more than enough. You know, just kind of an easy way just to kind of, you know, sanity check it. So, all right, I'm gonna pull the Can-Am in here. This part of the strap, in our case, because we have such big tires, I say our case, I mean basically anybody with a UTV, this part of the strap is not even needed. So if you had like a small car, it'd go over the top. Anyway, what I do is I always put the ratchets in the center. That way it will pull, you know, pulls the rear tires forward, pulls the front tires backwards ever so slightly, right, which helps just kind of snug it up forward and back. And the bigger thing than that is I can get in through the side door and I can reach all 4 ratchet straps, as opposed to if I put them back here on the rear, there's no way I'd be able to get to them without dropping the back door. So the other really cool thing about these, so normally, right, when you're going up and down, going down the road, right, the suspension wants to do this. Well, especially I think with all UTVs except the Speed, that basically means that the tires are going to go in and out. Well, by you locking down where the tires are, it's not going to allow them to go in and out as much, which will actually help eliminate body roll even. So, because I know a lot of guys that like to go off the frame and stuff like that, which is awesome. You know, in my opinion, there's really no wrong way to do it. You know, relatively, right? But anyway, here we go. So tomorrow's the big test when we go. So I will be super stoked if I never have to touch these. And you guys will find out in a few minutes. I'll find out in several hours. So I gotta finish loading everything up. Basically I have to cram all that crap in, under, around, beside, and on top of the Can-Am. And after that, we're ready to rip. So we'll see how this goes. All right, sorry if the audio is terrible. We just got here to mow out. It is insanely windy. So trying to film this in here, but just got here, 1,500 miles. I snugged these down at the gas station, you know, kind of like right after we left. And it is solid as a rock. So E-track and over the tire straps for the wind. Like, this was so much better. Like I said, it's like it does not move at all. Whereas before with our old strap setup, it could definitely move around a little bit. So the E-track, definitely the ticket. I'm telling you, I'll put a link in the description below. But that was way better, way less stressful. This thing did not move at all. So hell yeah. All right, we're gonna unload and we're gonna go play, and we'll take you guys along with us and stuff for a later video. So see you guys later.